A couple of meetings in Lawrence last week. So.
Yeah. You have any good sticks lately?
I have.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
Well, it's hot. One day.
No, I think past the last.
Yeah, it's just rainbow.
I had 2 nights in a row.
All right, that's 6 o'clock.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is it this one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, those are things.
Please.
Oh.
Levi,
Oh, wait.
Jackie's absent and Ryan's on via Zoom.
There.
Ryan, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, I can hear you.
We can't hear it very well.
That's as high as it goes.
Can you hear me?
Not real well.
Okay.
Really quiet. My volume's up all the way.
Item C, approval of the agenda.
Do we need to cover negotiations?
No, we haven't nothing to report yet.
Okay. So I would move to approve the agenda with the amendment of removing negotiations executive session. Yeah.
Second. Moved and second to remove item B from the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. 6-0. Councilman Superintendent?
No.
Councilman President? None. Consent agenda.
This is a really big one, folks. It's the beginning of organizational meetings. You've got all the appointments, you've got the fees and things like that. I mean, it's a list of very lengthy.
What do they do with all these folks that are being disappointed?
So most of the time, so we're talking old text, consumables, old textbooks. Some of those might just be samples and things like that. So there are companies that will buy those.
Like
back.
the library books and stuff?
Some, yeah. So there's 2 types of companies who do this. Buy them or just take them off their hands. And that's what, remember that? Okay.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
We have tried to go other avenues of trying to give this away.
You sent it to? Try
Yeah.
this one.
We've tried it. We've tried that. So generally they just go to a textbook wholesaler or reseller or sometimes just a store.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Paul's item 6 is probably your biggest item. And a lot of that's simply going through and changing names. Number 2 is one.
Are all of the limits and things the same as they've been in the past? Are there any?
They are, all the limits are the same.
Thank you.
Yep. They are. It's probably, yeah, like you're talking cards or you're talking.
Well, there was like petty cash and all of those different things that were just,
Nothing.
yeah, it's just kind of copy and paste and redo. Yeah.
We didn't even add any more decimal points. Let's see, and then one of the last items on there is establishing your dates for your regular board meetings. So I know that Levi looked and made sure there was some money in that chief. So nothing there that doesn't. And keep in mind that when it's happened in the past, we've all had to change the date. You can always do that, you just have to advertise that that is it, and that becomes by definition special.
So with respect to anybody having questions or anything, I'd go ahead and at least put a motion on the table to approve the Consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. Public comment?
No comments.
I will go to CERP approval.
So we thought, sure Heather is tired of talking about, hearing about, reading about and everything.
Can I sit here?
So
All right. So I'm going to talk to you about the SERP. It was last July, the state decided to make this a law that we have to have a cardiac emergency response plan in place. Every district does in the state of Kansas. It's called a SERP, CERP for short. But we have to have this submitted to the state, I do, by July 31st. So that's why we're meeting here tonight to let you kind of know what this includes and what I have. I think, did you guys get a copy of all this? Okay. So what this is when they pass the bill, they have certain guidelines that we had to put in. So this has been a lot of work. I'm not going to lie. And I'm going to tell you just a few statistics as why they did this. In the United States alone, on what we call outside of hospital cardiac arrest, there's over 350,000 of those. When you have a CPR that's initiated along with AED, the chance for those can significantly improve. Without anything at all, it's less than 10% for survival rates. With CPR alone, without the AED, you still have less than 10%. When you add an AED to that, it comes up to about almost 40% that they can have a survival rate for CPR when they have a cardiac arrest. So that's part of the reason why the state did this. Actually, Kansas was one of the later ones to do it. Many of the states have already had this in place. So I'm just going to kind of talk about in a short form here what it includes in our cardiac emergency response plan. We have to have what's called a CERT team, cardiac emergency response team. So what I did for each school, I took so many, there's between 5 and 7 of us that will be on our teams. So these people have to be AED CPR certified, which I'm in the process of getting them all certified. Most of them are now. And then we will be the first responders to any kind of cardiac event we have at our schools. This is during school hours. After hours, what we would be doing is we would be utilizing, most of it would be like the coaches. Every coach has to be CPR certified. During the process now, I'm getting them certified as well. And they have to take an AED, portable AED with them whenever they're going to an off-campus sporting event. They were doing this some last year. Just this year, it's going to be something that we cannot forget. We have to have it. Now, every school in Kansas will have this, so they will already have an AED there. However, for the en route, like if they're on the bus or something like that, we just need to make sure they still have it. Currently, our school, we have 13 AEDs. We have got 2 portables with, I've added an extra wall AED to all of our buildings. So each of our school buildings have 2 AEDs. We have 2 portables for the high school. We have 1 for the middle school. However, I spoke to the athletic director of the middle school, and we're going to have to see about getting a second portable for them because she's getting the volleyball and football are at the same time. We also have AEDs in our bus barn annex here in the ward office, and we have 1 at the ag building. So another thing I'm working on is just so that we have at least somebody from each of those buildings that is certified in CPR. I'm working, I think that Amy Larson's going to be from our annex, and then Jeannie told me she could for the ag, just so we have somebody also certified that can start CPR until the CERT team can arrive there. AEDs is a big thing they put into this bill, that we just have to make sure we have the proper amount of AEDs, which we currently do. We have to be able to get to the site of where our cardiac victim is within 3 minutes, and that's with an AED and everything spot. So we put them, so we have like one, all of our schools have one by the office, and then the second one we put in the schools is a little bit further away, like towards the back of the schools, where we have one at the back of the school and one at the front of the school. Okay. Maintenance, this will be my responsibility, which I've already done this, something that, this is not anything new, making sure our AEDs are updated every month, that they are, we go and check them, and I do, and I'll have to, with the CERT team, I can utilize somebody to help me do that, because that's a lot to go and check all the AEDs every month, so.
Are the, excuse me, are the AEDs under like lock and key?
No, they cannot be. That's part of the, they have to be where they're easily accessible. Now, during, our AEDs are in the alarm when you open them, the ones that we have on the walls. So if like a student got in anything.
What about the portable ones?
The portables are not locked, they're in cases. They will be kept, in the previous years, they've been kept in the gym during sports season, and in the off season, they were locked in the safe in the office. We can't do that. They have to be accessible at all times. So they're in just cases that you flip open. So they're very easy to get to. But I talked to, or I emailed just this week, Ben and Kim and the two principals for the high school and middle school, because we have to have a set place for them. We can't lock them up in the gym anymore, because it's also a requirement now. Wherever we have an AED, we have to have a sign of it that states an AED is located here. So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Maintenance, anyway, just going down the list, maintenance is another issue that we have to do, but we've already been doing that. I just replaced every single pad in all of our AEDs just recently. So everything, they're all good to go. They all have new pads. The batteries are for quite a few many years, but everything's good. We're also including all of our emergency medications, which is albuterol, epinephrine, and Narcan in our portable AEDs also. They're also in our, each school has an emergency safety medication box that has those 3 medications in it, and then they're going to be included in our portables too. The only one I still have to do yet to get it is we're having students at the annex, which we did not have that last year. So yes, we did. Once this gets approved and everything goes, we have to have communication of this plan throughout the school campus, where they're very, they listed exactly where the state did where they want it located. So it's going to have to be with each AED in the school, but each wall AED. Also, we have to have it in our gyms. We have to have it for portable AEDs, and we have to distribute all this information to the staff at the beginning of the year. So I talked to Lonnie about maybe at the beginning of the year after the coronation, whatever you do, that I can just have some time to make our presentation real quick to go over cardiac with all the staff there. And it's really, really important that all the staff knows where your AEDs are located. I know in my building, I sent an email out when all this was coming down the pipe, just saying, here's where our AEDs are located. You need to familiarize yourself with this. And I'll send one out to the middle school and the high school too, just because if they don't know what the AED is, and this is kind of a new point.
Are they fairly easy to use?
Very easy. They just talk you right through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And in the CPR training, that's what I tell them. You turn your AED on and you just listen, and it just step by step will put you right through it. So it'll tell you exactly, and the pictures on the AED pads show you the exact placement of where they go. So it very, very user friendly. Yeah. Training and CPR are the AHA, which I'm certified with the American Heart Association. They have to be certified every 2 years, and that's what our plan says, and that's what the state wanted as well. So everybody that is CPR certified is every 2 years. Okay?
Will they annex or assuming have to have the AED as well?
You do have one here.
Okay.
Yes, and you guys, Chelsea Carlson came over and was certified last week. So she's the person here that, at least we have somebody here that, and Lonnie's getting certified as well too. So we have at least, and then the annex, Amy Larson is getting certified. So we at least have somebody there.
And her teacher will be too, because it's a coach.
Yes, Nick, right? Nick, yes, yep. And I think I'm going to ask Brady Jasper, because he's going to be spending some time at the annex. I think if he can be on part of the CERT team also. We don't have a separate cardiac emergency response team for the annex because of its program. We're going to, the high school CERT team will do that. They'll do that one in the ag building. So in that lag time that it would take for them to get there, that's why we needed to have somebody. That's why Amy was doing CPR and even here for the good office.
I was gonna say, what about the middle school people? What's happening in the
They could too. Yeah, either one of them. So yeah, absolutely. part of the reason, or another thing that this requires is that we have to do annual simulations of this every year. Trying to get all these coaches together at one time was not going to happen. So I'm doing it on August 1st, and we're also adding August 6th. We're going to have our first simulation for all of this, where we'll come together, we'll go over everything, all the members. What the state requires is every athletic director, every coach, all members of this cardiac team, administrators, and I think Jody Twombly is our athletic
Trainer.
Thank you. So they require all of those to be there. And then we have to go through just going over the cardiac symptoms again, going over everything, and then we have to do simulations, which we'll be doing simulations, probably about 5 of them, and we'll use the AED and the CPR guides to go over it. So we'll have different scenarios. We have to be able to complete the scenario within 5 minutes, is our guidelines. Once a year, we have to review this as a board to see if there's any changes. Anytime there's any changes that we make to the plan, we have to resubmit those to ADHE state. And then once a year, we would meet here again where you guys would go to say, hey, do we have any changes to this or anything like that. Another thing is if we had cardiac arrest on one of our campuses, we have to make sure we'd have to meet again afterwards of how we took care of the process and a big communication form, who was there, what we did as well. So really quickly, what I have our whole team protocol typed up. This is verbatim, word for word, what our CERT team would do. Okay, and this is what we do in the training. All right. I also typed up wherever all of our AED information is. We have to give this to EMS. I've already sent it to Duke. I asked Duke if he could look all this over prior to me being here tonight with EMS, with Rich. He said he would. I had sent all this, I'm just going to backtrack for a minute. I sent all this also to Dr. Freewell, who does all of our signing of our orders and things we need for the nursing part. And she had said everything looks good. And I also had, his name is Tim Nikolai. He's the World Senior Health Director through the American Heart Association. I had submitted everything to him on the survey. He's looked at it and said he could see things that he had changed. So I think we're good to go. Once we get it all, I'll have to also make sure we get it to our police department, sheriff's department. They all have to have a copy of our cert, and they have to know where all of our AEDs are located. And one of the last things they require is that we have to have anybody outside that comes in to use our campuses without like another organization during the summertime or something of that sort has to be given a copy of our cert. So I put it on a piece of paper for each school, a form that just kind of put it down to one page instead of giving them a copy of every time. So each time we have an outside organization, I'll make sure that the office, when we have an outside organization using the schools, is there somebody here like Doreen, she used to send that information to, so I would
Facilities request.
yeah, just so I would have an idea of who's using it, so I would know to make sure we get these to everybody that needs to get it.
Probably the best thing to do is make sure, she can just make sure everybody has a copy of that, and we should probably ask to post it in those areas.
Yes, and I just want to make sure, we'll have them posted there, but anybody that's using the outside, or as an outside organization, I just want to get an email, so I know who is doing it, so I can make sure we do provide things for them. But basically for each school, this is just telling them exactly where our AEDs are located and how to do hands-on CPR. If you're not certified in CPR, we still want you to do hands-on CPR, just what it sounds like. Starting compressions on the chest, 100 or 120 minutes per, compressions per minute. So that's what I put on here, and to put the AED on and start just listening to the instructions. Just kind of gives them everything in one sheet. Okay.
How much are these AED machines?
They're not cheap. For the 3 that we had to buy for the wall that I just did back in February, it was like almost $6,000. And those were for 3 walls. However, because this is a state requirement now, they do have different areas so that we can get that. Yes, I looked it up to find out how to go ahead and do that because I have a feeling I know we need another portable one. And it's just a process that if we get approved for that grant, that they should, because it's their requirement. Mm-hmm. So there is grants available for that. Yes. Yeah.
So, and you mentioned the, like, replacing the pads and so forth.
Yeah.
Is that something they expire after
They
a
do.
certain time?
After so many years, they do expire.
So it's not an annual thing?
No.
Yeah.
All of ours had expired. They usually last about 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
Now, obviously, we'd have to use them. We'd have to order
Sure.
them. But the ones I just had, they just expired in this year, 2025. So they're all, actually, the ones I did, they're all good till 2027. So it's about 2 years.
Are they expensive to replace or?
For the pads, for every AED we had was about $600 and some dollars.
No,
That's
yeah.
what it was. Yeah. So
And how many did you say we had total?
we have 13 total,
13,
and that
yeah.
includes the portables. Will be 14 once I get the
Is it for child and adult?
That's a good question. So with what we do for our adult, most of the AEDs are just going to have adult pads. Now, at the elementary school, we have a key that the type of AED we have that we put it in it, and we do have children's pads at the elementary school. However, it's usually will say 55 pounds or less for children's pads, but you can use any pad for any size child. When you put, they just go on different. The pads can't touch. So if you were at the middle school and you had a 5-year-old child and you had to do using the AED at the middle school, you could still use the adult pads. It would just go, one pad would go in the front, the other pad would go in the back. They're not going to go here and here. And it just tells that AED machine that they need to put out less energy when they're doing the shocks. Yeah. So we do have specific pads for the elementary school since we have the littles there, but you don't even have to be a necessity. Any other questions?
I appreciate all the work that you're putting in.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You'll continue to put in.
Yes, I will. And I will, then if everything's good, I'll just make sure I get all this submitted by the 31st of KBH. So.
And we'll need to review it annually?
Every year,
Yeah.
yes. And if we have a cardiac arrest, we need to review what we did that too afterwards. So, yes.
Thank you.
All right, you're good. Thank you. You too.
Where are we this one?
So this is just the point where you give Levi the permission to go ahead and send in the form associated with the 10 to surpass revenue. Because, as you know, with 20, the legal requirement, 20 bills, the assessed valuation goes up, really can't really do anything. So, doesn't set anything. This is, all that's done at a hearing. So, if anybody asks about that, this also is the first step. There's any action really, other than we have to take this step in order to do what we legally have to do.
Can you say what the motion would be? Just
to give Levi the permission to send in, to submit the intent to surpass revenue.
So I will make that motion.
Does that sound right, Levi?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes. Okay.
I need a second to by the authority to.
Submit to the county to approve, yeah, to accept.
So I had him say. Aye.
Motion passed 6-0. District fees, meal price.
Something to do it every, could put that on the consent agenda, but really there's not, I think there were a few technology increases due to the cost of some screen repairs and things like that. We kept the lunch prices the exact same as they were last year, even though we went up 4.3% or something like that in our assessment from the food service company. We had the cash in there to do that. It's really playing a little bit of a, you always have to carry over a lot of cash in food service to start your new year, because you're going to get your first payment. If we carry over too much, you start coming to bank. So it's really just, so I'm done this year. We're not going to have to raise that. I'm pretty darn certain next year you're probably looking at least a 10-cent raise on most of your payments. So I guess one way to do it would be to just assess it every year, just make it more. But if we do that, then we're sitting really on top of that money. It really doesn't cost you that. And that's even after paying for a couple new, those really big dishwashers at the two buildings, the high school and so next year will probably be a little bit.
What's our food service contract?
With open?
Yeah.
So that's with open. What about?
No, I mean, is that, I can't remember, is that annual? or
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Yeah.
And every 5 years you have to go back out to bid. You can go back out to bid. I've been mandatory by law every 5 years. The increase is based on the consumer price index.
Mhm.
So it's pretty much just right in line with that.
Yeah.
That's what we got this last year. We approved that. I want to say it might have been April, might have been May.
Okay.
I'm not sure which day, which one it was, but it was probably April.
Yeah.
That's what that is. And
Lonnie,
Yes.
one addition to that, that just in talking with Chelsea, just so that the board knows when you approve this, that because we're not raising food prices, they have a new thing that when Chelsea submits, we have to inform the board and the board has to agree that we will cover the cost of not raising the food prices with non-federal funds. Just essentially basically acknowledging that you have the funds to not raise the food prices and that you will use those funds to pay. But there's a new statute that we have to inform you guys that we do have those funds and you have to agree to allow us to use those funds, not increase the food prices. So just
Does that serve as informing us right there? I guess.
So I think it's probably, here's the best thing probably to do. I'd ask for a motion to accept the fee sheet, including meal prices as presented, with the board understanding that we will use existing funds to take out place of any increased costs as opposed to raising price.
So moved.
It is a new thing, so.
Moved and second to accept the fees as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed 6-0. Approved handbooks.
All right, so that you had your first read on those. These are just the same ones. If you have any questions, I tell you that, but my principals are out on vacation right now, so if you have any questions about this, be sure that I know what they were. But I would ask you to read those as presented. And keep in mind, if something comes up, we always can change something later. We've done that.
Did the students get a copy of these handbooks?
Yes, they have copy of it, so they have digital copy of it.
And others on our website too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And looks right. Yeah.
Just, and this might be good information for our newer board members, but there's been times where things have come up during the school year where it's challenged board policy or handbook policy, those type of things. And the counsel that you had made at the time, and I think it's worth probably repeating, is that the time, unless it's something that's drastic, to do that is now, not midstream and right. So even if it's imperfect, you don't have a reactive approach during the school year as a matter of practice. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay.
There's been requirements for somebody to be able to participate in some event or something, and somebody's gotten noisy about it, complained about it, and we generally just say, well, we can address that looking into next year. And we have made some changes.
Sure. But the time, you've always counseled, the time to do it is in the summer, not as a reaction to a specific thing during the school year. So I just felt like that
last time I
was
remember specific things during the school year, it goes harkens back to a time about 5 years ago that we really don't like to read.
yeah.
But other than that, we haven't.
So I'll keep my streak going. I'll move that we approve the policy handbooks changes as presented.
Move and second to approve policy handbooks. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion passed 6-0. Okay, so we policy updates.
Same thing. Nothing to do. Still what we had last time. Most always, they're either because of a change in legislation or because clarification of language. So one reason those policies change. In case you ever wondered what happens once you approve those, leave like it's still goes into the policy. Sorry.
I move to approve KASB policy updates.
Been moved and seconded to approve KSOD policy updates. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed 6-0. Captain Kids.
Okay, remember a couple of months ago, we talked about CTH, Captain Kids Arts, the training that overall it is, those cost money. I did write a grant. We got $14,300. Oh, that's a good portion of it, but over the next couple of years, I'm going to say it's going to be around 31,000 total in all the training that will have to take place. But we got 14,300 cost.
So it cover roughly half, or is that in addition to this?
Well, it won't be half. It's less.
Well,
That's right. So
Yeah.
that does mitigate that.
31 minus 14, not 14 plus 31. Yeah, okay.
So that will help.
Yeah, it's a big help.
And you just have to accept the grant. So it's there. All right. So I'm going to start with facilities. Tim is unable to join us tonight.
I'm sorry, did we need to accept?
Oh, actually, I would like that if somebody go ahead and approve the, going back to it. Approve the receipt of the grant.
I move
Award of the
we
grant.
accept the Capturing Hearts, Kids Hearts Program grant as presented.
Moved and seconded to accept Capturing Kids Hearts Program grant. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed 6-0.
Now, all right, Tim's unavailable tonight due to the situation. Let's take care of it. Concrete work update, high school. So you're in the front of the one gym entrance. I don't think there's anywhere else there. So that's the main part. So up against the parking lot, that sidewalk there. Over at the middle school, right out the front of the building as you enter into the building, concrete repair. Those are all done. They are now over at the elementary school prepping for that big playground area to be done. And the stairs, yes, that, wherever that thing is there, it sits on the north end of that little alley part of the playground.
Is that like an emergency exit to the library? Is that what that is? Yeah, okay.
No, I think it's just on that hallway, the fourth grade hall, third grade hallway.
Oh, okay.
And it's just, there's double doors down there.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there going, that wouldn't line up. So,
Okay.
yeah. Asphalt work, it's pretty busy in this town today. They're over here doing the Lutheran church, and I know they were doing the early patching work right now over at the middle school. I saw that going on. And they will do the crack fill and slurry coat on Wednesday. Patchwork over at the elementary also going on. Playground, crack fill, and slurry coat on Wednesday. So basically, they're here until about Wednesday, but those two projects should be taken care of. Elementary sewer line, if you remember that big issue we had that had to be done, they'll get on planting grass seed. I noticed it says first week of August. I don't know if it's a good time to plant grass seed, expect to survive from now until this fall's. Annex work, so they're moving things out of the two rooms over there, plus the board meeting room too. Because that's where that's where they do lunches. So things are getting moved out of there. Carpet is on the docket to get done here in the coming days. There's been electrical work going on over there for basically putting in LED, switching out the LED. That's been done as well. High school painting. I said something wrong. She goes, I didn't remember what we were doing. I guess we were. Yeah. Those tiles, the tiles are already redone on the walls that come up about here. They were redone in the lunchroom area. Now in that commons area, as you come in, all of those are being done. Basically, if you come in for like a basketball game, loop around all the way until you get to about behind the auditorium. All those tiles are being redone, repainted. So there's kind of an etching type of primer that they do first. They were putting that on today, and then they'll go with, it's mostly an off-white, except if you remember, there's spots of, I don't understand, these little weird little designs of red, orange, and yellow. Those would be red and blue. They wasn't red. It was really just kind of orange.
So it'll match kind of what the lunchroom looks like.
Exactly. So that should be done by the end of the week.
But it's just going to go kind of that entry, basically.
Yeah, it'll go basically kind of wrap around that auditorium.
Yeah.
Yeah. we've got the backside of that. All right, any other, oh, and then, let's see, Bring will be doing the tear down of that north trailer there behind, the storage trailer behind the elementary school. Dishwashers at the elementary and the high school were installed, they now operate, dishes to be done, but the cool thing about those is they reutilize that steam as the energy, and so that's where the steam goes. That makes sense. Otherwise, you're talking ducting into that round, that dome type of roof would have been a real problem. I don't think it'd been a big problem with the elementary, but this is a better way. It takes the steam out of there. So those got put in Thursday of last week. All right. Dust collection. Oh, but also the letters on the high school, the Hiawatha markets I had. I remember it said Red Hawks. Or it said high school. It said high school. That's what it said. And then now it says Hiawatha. So those are in. Dust collection, wood shop. I've seen the storm that's back here. So we did visit, Tim and I did visit with Mr. Arnett back there, and we all saw what those prices were. You're looking at north of 300,000. That's today. By the time you get to it, who knows what those, well, we do know what those prices are. Right now, I think the plan is, correct me if I'm wrong, but you picked up the stand-up units.
Yes, last week, Tim and I went and picked up 2 portable units. It's something. We will still have some issues. One issue is I used the planer earlier this summer. We have a problem for some reason. The large particles sometimes will be ejected right out the discharge chute as opposed to the cyclonic action dropping down. We're not sure what's causing that yet. To me, it's like a vacuum leak, but I'm able to figure out where it's at. We've had a lot of equipment. I did happen to bring a filter from, we have 3 hanging filters, air cleaners in the shop. And that's what it looks like. It's new. And this is after 3 months. This is in the area that has the least amount of dust generated, meaning it's not where the students sand a whole lot. It's an area where the work benches are at. We do have CNC a router there that does create some, but we're going to knock down some of the airborne particulate. We're not going to take care of everything. It's crazy money what they're wanting, and yes, it will not go decrease in price. Mitch, we looked at the questions that you had asked. Prior to the meeting, I went up, I looked at our new electrical service. We do have some space in the box yet for some additional circuits. I don't believe that we have maxed out the capacity yet if we needed to add some things. Our big issue is the space for additional equipment. Your question was, is there some equipment that generates more dust than others? Typically, we're looking at the sanding areas. It's just going to take some time to figure out, okay, where's our biggest issue, because we'll have some tubes routed different ways. It's not ideal, but we need to do something. Unfortunately, it didn't go as we expected. But you can look up. There's a lot of information out there on the hazards of breathing in wood dust, fumes, and so on. I appreciate the fact the board is proactive here and trying to work together to solve this. And again, I would invite any of you to come in at any point in time, take a look at what we have.
How much are those filters each?
Great question. We have a stock of those. They're not terribly expensive. And it's just something that we would change out ourselves. This is a pre-filter. They also have a bag filter within the box. I chose to leave that in place. So these will be swapped out at the beginning of the school year to get more of an accurate.
Is it a pain to change the filters?
The ladder. And
I'm just wondering if it would be advantageous instead of 3 months, like every month.
oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
I know that might not improve a lot,
No, but
keeping the air moving.
absolutely, yeah, and I agree, and you know, I can talk with Tim, and we could definitely have a supply of these pre-filters on hand and bag filters as well.
What's the approximate size of these units?
The footprint,
Yeah, the footprint of the units you just.
the unit it has actually a small cyclone component where the larger chips will fall into it's a glorified metal trash cans.
Do you have like the model or?
It is a Laguna, Leguna. We got a C flux, letter C, FLUX. The company that we purchased this from last week no longer has it on their website. They have a D flux, but it also has a large filter with a that gets the airborne particulate, and then has a plastic bag that collects the finer particles. Yes, along those lines.
So that looks like a normal sized guy, so it's.
Yeah, and
about 6 people wide.
You're going to be looking at 2 feet by 3.5 to 4 feet as far as the footprint. It's not massive, but of course you see the discharge chutes or the intake chutes
It's
there.
not small either.
It's like a giant gearbox.
And it's on cafters.
It is on casters.
Yes, you can kind of move this
And
around.
that was one thing we looked at is portability.
Are they just 110 looking at
Yes,
the wall?
either way, can be wired either way.
Have you fired them up?
Have not yet.
How loud are they?
Decibel level is it's much quieter than our dust collector.
Unless they
now.
shot back.
Probably comparable to that. I'm not sure what the decibel rating is on those. I felt that was probably our best option. One, the portability of it. We have one that's mounted to the wall that collects the finer particles, but
It looks like there's 2 inlets, so that's,
it could be 2 smaller inlets or 1 large inlet.
okay.
And
You could feasibly hook up 2 table saws or.
yes, the blueprints, engineering drawings that we got for that system, it does have the rating on the CFM for each of the machines, so it's kind of going off of that, see what the engineering allowances were. You know, we're going to do the best we can.
So is it maybe a good way to look at it? We're going to see how it works, and then if it is somewhat effective, then the limiting factor becomes space.
Right, correct. And as well as available circuits.
Sure. I appreciate your flexibility and effort
Well,
on the cause.
you know, I appreciate the fact that this is being addressed. You know, again, we've had a lot of equipment generate a lot more decibel than we used to. We'll figure it out.
And the hand sanders, I'm picturing like the DeWalt, like the 8
Correct.
hole,
Little
and
palm
they have the
sander.
little bag on it.
They do. One thing, I'm glad you brought that up. Typically, I've had the students do the sanding near the entry door. We have our exhaust fan there. Our exhaust fan it's what it is a floor fan. Not really even industrial grade. You go to a hardware store and get a metal cage that they mount it up to the wall in the opening. It wouldn't pass inspection probably if you went down to the looking at all the specs and details. There is a component there in the engineering drawings for an upgrade of that. I can't tell you much.
And then you guys build like a downdraft.
We did build a downdraft sanding table. Makes a big difference.
Sure. Yeah. I also was doing a little bit of research. I saw like some people, they'll hook up like a shot back at the end of their palm sander, and then they'll kind of wrap the extension cord with
Right.
it, so it all kind of stays in one unit.
Sure.
It's probably still not ideal and a little bit more cumbersome, but
Right.
it has a little bit better effect of.
And you're seeing C picks up on it. That's good.
Yes, and I was telling Lonnie that they do have a boot that you can mount to the CNC machine. Thing I don't like about that is that you can't see your work.
It's a blade break.
Exactly. The drawback we have on our largest CNC, we have two CNC routers. Our large one is over on the west end of the building. Great spot for it.
Those don't have a down drive?
No,
What holds the piece to the?
mechanical clamps.
Okay.
So was it a little over $2,000 a piece for those things? Is that?
Yeah, we got it, the current price, $2,200. It went up, 1st of July. And, so we've spent on the dust collection, Levi, if you remember, it's a little over $4,000 for the two collectors and then some accessories on the, pipe and whatnot.
On the full envelope dust collection that we were originally considering, do you know what the workhorse, like the equivalent of the Laguna, the part that goes outside, do you know what that was called by what that equipment was?
We'd have to see what the engineering drawings.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure it's available back to us. I didn't know.
Right. I cannot tell you.
Okay.
No questions, not dust collection. I think that's our well place moving forward.
Did we ever is it all single phase in that building? Still not, there's no three phase. I thought maybe we installed that when we did the HVAC stuff, but.
I don't.
Did we do something different at the ag building though?
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
It's neither here nor there. It's just,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Thank
For your
you.
time.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, so under my section, first thing is you'll notice there's an invoice for schools PLP. I'll need you to approve payment for those. Those are due when Levi coming up. Paid before we start school year, right?
Right, yeah.
And if you remember on this, I talked to you about programs. This is what we're using for two different things. So you've got two different pages there. One is for the alternative program, and the other one is for Spanish instruction. Okay? So that is basically the curriculum and instruction for that. We will have a live person in there who happens to be fluent in Spanish, who's not certified to teach it, mind you, but we should be able to converse and, teach. So not going to be hampered by that. It's going to be helpful. Plus, that's an individual monitor and supervise. It's basically facilitate the Spanish learning in that classroom. So you got two different pages. One is for alternative, and then one is for Spanish program. Now, we hope a year from now that we'll have a Spanish teacher. We hope a year from now that the alternative program is working well and we'll still get to pay that. So we'll know more, yes, as we get into that year. So I would ask for approval of those two invoices to be paid.
I move to approve the district's PLP invoices.
Schools PLPs now.
Second. Move in second to approve schools PLP invoices. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed 6-0.
Okay. So let's see, I've got several things to look at. So this is the year we start looking at budget. I just want to remind you, this is the budget timeline. We're now getting to that season where the budget software is now available. Levi and I have went to, and actually Skate's doing this too for a good part of that day. Probably the most relevant part of it. Some of it is just repetitive.
A lot of it is.
But anyway, so we've attended that budget training that's required, and the budget software is not coming out, so we'll start to work on that here shortly. The notice of intent to exceed R&R, you did that today. Late July, sometimes early August, budget reviewed by KSDE, it's at the State Department. When we get down the road, Levi will make an appointment with somebody there. They make sure the mechanics are done correctly. You don't want to find. There are probably schools who don't do that. I don't know of anybody who does not go there.
Yeah, I would not do it.
But sure, there are people who do. And then August was when I would do the basically the budget presentation for you and get permission to print the budget, all that kind of stuff. September is when you have your R&R hearing. So at the meeting, you have an R&R hearing, then you have your budget hearing, then you have your meeting in August, or excuse me,
September, yeah.
September. So we just want to refresh it as to what that is. Nothing's changed. Boy, it's coming up upon us fast here. So we're in mid-August now, pretty much. Getting ready for new teachers showing up here. So their training is on August 6th. Then on the 7th and 8th, that's a Thursday and Friday of that week. On Thursday, we have convocation. I'll invite you and I'll send you emails. We invite you to come to convocation in the morning over the high school auditorium. Then I know we've got KBS, or benefit management, service management. It's going to be there to kind of tell people, here's what you need to do. We're opening up an online enrollment period. Here's the steps you take, and hey, we're going to be available for you on these dates. Basically, give them the introductory instructions and welcome, that type of stuff. So, and then the teachers spend a good part of the day in as well. Then on the 8th, it's everybody in the pool pretty much as far as the teachers. It's our last formal session of high impact instruction practices and strategies. Darren, just his eyes just perfect after you did us, we really saw that. So we'll do that on the 8th as well. So, and then the teacher work day is following Monday and Tuesday. So that's the days they work in the classrooms. And then on Wednesday, we've got the fifth grade, ninth graders, and other new students who work in the district. Got a school first real day. It's Thursday. So it's a month from now. So it's getting ready to happen. So a lot of stuff goes on the summer. People don't quite realize that, but it's pretty busy. It's a little bit different pace, but now it starts to pick right back up. This meeting next month will already be in plan. Any questions?
How'd summer school go?
Much smaller at elementary this year, so a little bit more concentrated attention, much smaller staff too. I don't have any results as far as our fast food assessments or anything like that. I think the bigger result that we hope to see is those early year fast food look at some summer school, because that's typically what it is. This was our first year doing that as a district, as opposed to using ESSER funds. I think I told you about title funds being cut. There are a lot of districts who they rely on 21st century language. It's not necessarily going to work for every district, but some of the bigger districts with higher needs have more access to federal funds, and what they're getting hit is on the more devastating blow, I'd say, than maybe what we are. We'll be fine this year. I sure hope that's not going to be the norm. Be surprised if more than that. So, but it was a surprise, and nobody expected when we anticipated certain months coming into the budget. There, some professional development things that happen in rural settings that allow you to pay for STEM materials, things like that, are not what we do about it this year. So you pay for them in your general fund systems. For us, it's about $70,000. We don't have the large numbers as far as the SOL and the NOL funding sources. It is somewhat significant, maybe as the other parts of title that we qualify for. Larger districts qualify for more parts of title. Either way, so. Questions about that? Otherwise,
Did Mr. White give you any kind of update for the speaking scoreboard or the audio?
I have not. I don't have anything. I'm glad you mentioned something about the state, but no, I don't have anything on there. I'm going to remind me, I'll shoot an email there.
We have one more board meeting.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure somebody's been out there from KCAV, I think. But I that's the reason I ran into one of the vendors and they said something. It answered me, but I need to. Speaking of the stadium, so there's a group of alumni here in town that are funding the purchase of a large bell that will be over towards the scoreboard. And the purpose of that bell is when if we win, they get to go over and
Oh, cool.
So I guess there's a couple other schools in our league that have that. It's not if you score, it's if you win. I was a little bit concerned about, should we just leave it out there, people can go, it doesn't seem to be a problem with, general public going in, ringing the bell or anything like that, so, I guess over there, but anyway, they're paying for the footing and foundation, pat that has to be for.
It's underneath the scoreboard.
It'll be, oh gosh, I pulled up my phone, I believe it's actually just to the north of the school board.
Between the flagpole and
Between the goalpost and the scoreboard, there's just a little bit of grass, as I understand.
which side?
Well, that would be so I believe it's on the west side, northwest side.
Outside the track.
Yes, that's all right. Well, you'll bear with me, sure, where it is, but we got it. Heath Summers kind of led that charge. I hope we go. All right, I know. I know. I thought I had that. I put a couple locations, but I'm pretty sure that's where it is. It's going to be a little bit north of the school. So anyway, that'll be there in time for the season. I think that's a nice gesture. And appreciate the spirit out there. These folks really pitching for that. So I'll let you know when it's done.
Special report. John has first meeting. Who contract with physical therapy, occupational therapy.
I need to publicly fall on the sword. Brooklyn volunteered to take over, but had asked me to attend this last meeting. I did not. I went to a visitation instead, but to be honest, I kind of slacked it off too. So don't think that she missed one that she should have. And then also, I think you had said that you weren't getting the agenda yet.
See anything? I'll ask you. I was told that you're the new.
All this stuff. So I went out with a whimper. I did not fulfill my role there, so I apologize for that.
Shelby's the new president. I took one of the team's advice. Shelby. So, but we will need one more come December, January 1st.
I would tell you that John started on July 1. I've met with him probably 3 times, and I know that the South Front Superintendent I met with him. So definitely with some coordination on it, looking at making a few changes in how we do various things on the board.
So he's relocated at this point.
Yeah, he is actually living in Florida.
Okay.
Outside, corporate, important.
Okay, something like that. Yep.
That was a lot.
He was in my
Oh,
today.
they did hire a new
MIS clerk.
MIS clerk and input in the VIP, double check. She started in July.
Yeah, and she's a little bit on and off during the summer, and Lynn is there.
Until the end of July. Yeah. Second session.
Oh, say, let's go 15. I don't know that 10 is going to be enough and 15 probably.
So moved.
20.
This is to discuss non-elected personnel.
Moved in second to go to executive session for 10 minutes. On favor, say aye.
15.
15.
15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Sorry about that. I don't know why it didn't ring. So
Sorry, what was that?
sorry, my phone didn't ring. So
Yeah, I called a few times, but that's okay. What we really
Hey,
just looked at,
Ryan,
we
you
talked
need to-
about the first two appointments that Bryn Williams and Keith Early, and we're just finished up talking about Nicole Jewett
yep.
as a third sophomore. Resignations, Teresa Williams came to me and she called and said, hey, are you in your office? I knew exactly what was coming. And of course, she was in here for about an hour.
She's also teacher and cross country
middle school. Yeah.
She had private middle school.
And now, I think she's middle school. I think she's assistant.
The first year she didn't do track, right?
Correct. Yes. Ryan, mute your mic, please.
Oh, sorry.
Something bad.
We were in executive session for 15 minutes. Is there any action followed?
Yes.
I'm hard, Peter.
Yeah, I'll let you.
Okay. Are you gonna do it again?
Mm-hmm.
Keep this straight over.
I move we hire Brendan Williams as HMS assistant volleyball coach.
Second.
Moved in second to hire Bryn Williams as HMS assistant volleyball coach. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed 6-0.
I move we hire Keith Erdley as HHS girls golf coach.
Second.
Moved in second to hire Keith Furby as HHS girls golf coach. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion passed 6-0.
I move we hire Nicole Jewett as HHS assistant softball coach.
Second.
Moved in second to hire Nicole Jewett as HHS assistant girls softball coach. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed 6-0.
I move we that we accept the resignation of Sherry Nelson as HMS girls basketball coach.
Second.
We moved in second to accept Sherry Nelson's resignation as HMS basketball coach.
I move,
All in favor say aye.
sorry. Aye.
Aye.
Second. Second. All
Did we
in
get
favor
all
say
that?
aye. Opposed, say no. Motion passed 6-0.
I move to accept with regrets the retirement resignation of Teresa Williams as HMS fifth grade teacher.
Second with blessings.
So moved in second to accept Teresa Williams' retirement at the end of the 25-26.
Yes, thank you. And I amend my motion as such.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed 6-0.
And also with great regrets, I move that we accept the retirement resignation of Lonnie Mosier effective at the end of the 25-26 school year.
June 30th.
Excuse me, June 30th. Yeah.
Second.
Moved in second to accept Lonnie's retirement at the end of June 30th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed 6-0.
And then there's one more hire, is there not?
No.
For the club, okay. Okay. Thank you.
I move to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Moved to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed 6-0. This thing has a